Are you missing the quiet warnings? Imagine this. Someone you love starts changing, slowly, subtly, over the past year. Their clothes hang looser, their energy fades, their words stumble, or their breath grows shallow. You brush it off as just aging. But what if these are the body's secret signals, whispering that their final year has begun? Too often, we miss these clues until it's too late. Too late to prepare, too late to make those last moments count. In this video, we're diving into 5 powerful signs that an elderly loved one might be nearing the end. Significant weight loss, extreme fatigue, cognitive confusion, frequent infections, and changes in breathing or circulation. These aren't loud alarms. They're quiet shifts, easy to ignore, but packed with meaning. Stick with us, because knowing these signs doesn't just prepare you. It gives you the chance to cherish every second left, to wrap their final days in comfort, dignity, and love. Let's uncover the truth together. You won't want to miss a single word. Significant weight loss, a subtle warning of the final year. One of the earliest and most revealing signs that an elderly person may be nearing the end of their life is significant, unintentional weight loss. This isn't just a minor drop in pounds that might come with aging. It's a noticeable shift that often creeps up quietly over months, sometimes even a full year, before death. At first, it might seem subtle, a belt needing an extra notch, clothes hanging looser, or a once hearty appetite fading into disinterest. Families often dismiss it as a natural part of growing older, thinking it's nothing to worry about. But the truth is, losing weight without trying is rarely a positive sign. It's one of the body's quiet ways of signaling that something deeper is happening, a warning that life may be entering its final stage. This weight loss goes beyond a simple change in diet or preference. It's often tied to the body's declining ability to function efficiently. As people age, some muscle loss is expected, but when it happens too quickly or dramatically, it points to a more serious issue. The body may no longer absorb nutrients properly, digestion slows, and protein isn't processed effectively, leading to muscle wasting. This isn't just about appearance, it's about strength fading away. A person who was once steady on their feet might now struggle to stand or walk, their energy draining as their body weakens. This loss of muscle mass doesn't just make movement harder, it increases the risk of falls, weakens the immune system, and leaves them more vulnerable to infections. Appetite changes play a big role too. Many elderly individuals in their final year simply don't feel hungry the way they used to. Their sense of taste dulls, and food loses its appeal. Meals that once brought joy become a chore, and they might skip eating altogether or settle for tiny portions. This isn't just pickiness, it's a physiological shift. The body, sensing it's winding down, stops sending strong hunger signals to the brain. With less food comes less energy, and the decline snowballs. Less strength, less activity, and a gradual fade in overall health. For some, this shift is compounded by underlying conditions like cancer, heart failure, or kidney disease, which can silently progress for months before more obvious symptoms emerge. Even depression or cognitive decline can dampen the desire to eat, pulling the body into a downward spiral where it lacks the fuel to keep going. Families often try to step in, coaxing their loved ones with favorite dishes or protein shakes, hoping to reverse the trend. But when the weight keeps dropping despite these efforts, it's a sign the issue runs deeper than diet alone. The body isn't just refusing food, it's preparing for a transition. Forcing large meals at this point might do more harm than good, causing discomfort rather than nourishment. Instead, the focus should shift to comfort. Soft, easy-to-eat foods and plenty of hydration can make a bigger difference in maintaining quality of life than piling on calories that the body can't handle. Recognizing this sign early is key. If you notice an elderly loved one losing weight unexpectedly, eating less, or growing weaker, it's time to pay attention. This isn't about vanity or forcing them back to their old self. It's about understanding what their body is saying. Are they struggling to stay active? Do they tire more quickly than before? These clues, paired with weight loss, suggest the body is slowing down in ways that go beyond normal aging. It's a message, often missed until it's too late, that the final year may be approaching. This realization isn't easy, but it's powerful. Spotting significant weight loss gives you a chance to act, not to stop the inevitable, but to prepare for it. It's an opportunity to adjust care, prioritize comfort, and make every remaining moment count. Whether it's sitting together over a small, cherished snack or simply being present as they rest, these acts can bring peace and dignity to their final stage. Significant weight loss isn't just a physical change. It's a call to listen closely, respond with compassion, and ensure that the time left is filled with love rather than regret. Extreme fatigue and weakness, a silent signal of the final year. One of the most striking signs that an elderly person may be approaching their final year is extreme fatigue and weakness, a deep, persistent exhaustion that settles in and refuses to lift. This isn't the tiredness that follows a busy day or a sleepless night. It's a profound weariness that makes even the simplest tasks feel insurmountable. Getting out of bed becomes a struggle, walking across a room demands effort, and activities once done with ease, like dressing, cooking, or chatting, turn draining. Families might notice their loved ones slowing down, resting more, or opting out of things they used to enjoy. It's easy to chalk it up to aging, but this level of fatigue is different. It's a sign the body is conserving what little energy it has left as it nears the end. This exhaustion stems from a slowing of the body's core systems. As organs like the heart and lungs weaken, they don't work as efficiently. The heart pumps less forcefully, circulation falters, and muscles receive less oxygen than they once did. What used to be automatic, standing up, moving around, staying alert, now takes a toll. The body's metabolism slows too, redirecting energy away from activity and toward basic survival. This shift explains why someone in their final months might sleep more, take longer naps, or struggle to stay awake for extended periods. You might see sudden energy drops. One moment they seem fine, the next they're completely spent. It's not laziness or lack of will. It's the body prioritizing what matters most as it winds down. For the person experiencing this, the impact goes beyond the physical. Fatigue strips away independence, leaving frustration or even shame in its wake. Someone who once prided themselves on keeping busy might now feel trapped by their limits, unable to cook a meal or join a conversation without tiring out. This can lead to withdrawal. They might avoid social interactions, skip hobbies, or sit in silence, not because they've lost interest, but because they lack the strength to engage. For families, watching this shift can be heartbreaking. A once vibrant loved one now seems a shadow of themselves, and it's tempting to push them to snap out of it. But forcing activity won't help. This weakness isn't something they can overcome with effort. It's a sign of a deeper, unstoppable change. The emotional toll on families is heavy too. Seeing someone go from active to exhausted can spark denial or guilt. Maybe they just need more rest, or maybe we're not doing enough. But rest doesn't fix this kind of fatigue. It lingers because the body's reserves are dwindling, not because they're being lazy. The best response isn't to fight it, but to accept it, letting them rest when needed, keeping expectations low, and focusing on comfort can make their days more bearable. Small gestures, sitting quietly together, adjusting pillows, or keeping the room calm, matter more than urging them to push through. If you notice this in a loved one, deep fatigue unrelieved by sleep, weakness that slows them to a crawl, it's a signal to pay attention. Are they napping more than usual? Do they tire after a few steps or a short talk? These aren't just signs of a bad day. They're clues the body is in decline. Recognizing this early doesn't mean giving up. It means preparing. It's a chance to shift focus from fixing them to supporting them, ensuring their final months or weeks are as peaceful as possible. This might look like softer lighting, a warm blanket, or just your presence. No demands, no pressure. Extreme fatigue and weakness aren't just symptoms. They're a call to listen to what the body is saying. In the final year, energy fades not because they've stopped trying, but because their systems are shutting down. Understanding this lets you meet them where they are, offering rest instead of resistance, love instead of lectures. It's about making their time left comfortable and dignified, not forcing a fight they can't win. By seeing this sign for what it is, you can cherish the quiet moments and ensure they feel cared for, right to the end. Cognitive confusion or withdrawal, a quiet clue to the final year. As an elderly person nears the end of their life, one of the most noticeable yet often overlooked signs is cognitive confusion or withdrawal. This isn't just the occasional forgetfulness that comes with age. It's a deeper shift in how they think, communicate, and connect with the world. You might see someone who was once sharp and engaged start to forget names, repeat stories, or lose track of time. Conversations become harder to follow, and familiar places might suddenly seem strange. They could struggle to make decisions or appear disoriented, even in their own home. For some, it's subtler. They grow quiet, retreat into silence, or lose interest in the people and activities they once loved. These changes can begin months, even a year, before death, signaling that the mind and body are slowing down together. This isn't just senior moments. The brain, like any organ, needs oxygen and nutrients to work properly. As circulation weakens and the body's systems decline, the brain gets less of both. This drop in supply can cause memory lapses, confusion, or trouble processing what's happening around them. One day they might seem clear, recounting old stories with a smile. The next, they're lost, unsure of where they are or who you are. These swings, moments of lucidity followed by fog, hint at the brain's fading strength. It's not always dramatic like dementia. It can be quiet, creeping in so slowly that families brush it off as normal aging. But when it persists or worsens, it's a sign of something more. Withdrawal often comes hand in hand with this confusion. A person who once lit up a room might now sit silently, staring off or avoiding talk. Social settings overwhelm them. Too loud, too fast, and they pull back, spending hours alone. It's not that they don't care. Their brains simply can't handle the effort anymore. Emotions shift too. Some grow irritable or anxious, snapping over small things they'd have shrugged off before. Others turn calm, almost detached, as if the world no longer holds their attention. This isn't a choice. It's the mind adjusting to the body's decline, processing less, reacting less. For families, it can feel like they're losing their loved one before they're truly gone, a slow fade that's hard to watch. The challenge is knowing what to do. It's tempting to pull them back, ask questions, spark memories, keep them engaged. But pushing can tire them more, even frustrate them. Their silence or confusion isn't rejection. It's exhaustion on a level they can't control. Instead of forcing words, the best approach is patience. Speak softly, keep things simple, and let them feel your presence without pressure. They may not respond, but they can still sense comfort, a gentle touch, a familiar voice. If they're withdrawing, don't take it personally. It's their mind conserving what energy it has left, not a sign they've stopped loving you. Spotting this early matters. If your loved one forgets more, mixes up reality, or pulls away, it's not just quirks, it's a clue. Are they repeating themselves? Do they seem lost in places they know? These shifts suggest the brain is preparing for the end, just as the body is. Recognizing this lets you adjust, create a calm space, avoid overwhelming them, and focus on what they can still enjoy. It's not about fixing their mind. It's about meeting them where they are. A quiet moment together, a favorite song, or a reassuring word can mean more than a long talk they can't follow. Cognitive confusion or withdrawal is a sign the final year may be near. It's the mind's way of signaling decline, a call to shift from expectation to understanding. Families who see it can prepare, not by fighting the fade, but by embracing it with care. It's a time for peace, not pressure, for presence, not persistence. By tuning into this change, you ensure their last months hold dignity and love, even as words and awareness slip away. They may not say it, but they feel it, and that's what counts most. Frequent infections and slow healing, a clear warning of the final year. One of the most telling physical signs that an elderly person may be in their final year is a pattern of frequent infections and slow healing. What once were rare colds or minor scrapes now turn into recurring illnesses and lingering wounds. You might notice they catch every bug going around: pneumonia, urinary tract infections, skin sores, even mouth issues, far more often than before. A cough that used to clear up in days drags on for weeks, or a small cut refuses to close. Recovery slows, and even with treatment, they don't bounce back like they used to. This isn't just bad luck. It's the body's way of showing it's losing its fight, a signal that the end might be closer than you think. The root of this lies in a weakening immune system. As the body ages and nears its final stage, its defenses drop. Circulation slows. Organs like the kidneys or liver don't filter as well, and the immune response weakens. Infections that were once shrugged off now take hold more easily, and the body struggles to push them out. Antibiotics might help, but their effect fades. Stronger doses or longer treatments become necessary, yet the infections keep coming. For someone in decline, this isn't a one-off, it's a cycle. Pneumonia might clear up only for a UTI to strike next, each illness chipping away at their strength. Families often see these as separate events, but together, they paint a picture of a system too tired to protect itself. Healing slows too. A scratch that once faded in days now lingers, red and raw. Bruises stick around longer, or sores reopen with little provocation. This happens because blood flow weakens. Oxygen and nutrients don't reach tissues fast enough to repair them. For those less mobile, pressure sores become a real risk, especially on heels or hips, and can spiral into infections if ignored. In a healthy body, healing is automatic. In one nearing the end, it's a battle. Even chronic conditions like diabetes or heart failure can worsen this, quietly draining the body's ability to mend itself long before bigger symptoms show. What's tricky is how these signs hide. In seniors, infections don't always scream with fever or pain. Instead, they might just seem more tired, confused, or uninterested in food. Subtle shifts that are easy to miss. A sudden dip in alertness could be the first hint of pneumonia, not a restless night. This quiet progression is why vigilance matters. If your loved one keeps getting sick or their skin won't heal, it's not just aging, it's a red flag. Are cuts staying open? Do they seem weaker after each illness? These clues suggest the body's reserves are running low, a sign the final year may be underway. Families often push back, chasing cures, another doctor visit, one more round of meds, hoping to stop the pattern. But when infections pile up and healing stalls, it's time to rethink. At this stage, aggressive treatment can exhaust them more, dragging out discomfort instead of easing it. The focus should shift to comfort, keeping them hydrated, cleaning wounds gently, reducing stress. A cool cloth or a quiet room can do more for their peace than another hospital stay. It's not giving up, it's giving them dignity when their body can't keep up. Recognizing this early offers a chance to prepare. Frequent infections and slow healing aren't random. They're the body saying it's winding down. Seeing this lets you adjust care, watch closer for subtle changes, and prioritize their well-being over endless fixes. It's about making their days bearable, soft blankets, small sips of water, a steady hand, not battling what's already in motion. For families, it's hard to watch strength fade, but understanding this sign turns helplessness into purpose. You can't stop the decline, but you can soften it. In the final year, frequent infections and slow healing mark a turning point. They're proof the body's fight is fading, a call to shift from curing to caring. By heeding this, you ensure their last months hold comfort, not struggle, peace, not pain. It's a quiet gift, letting them rest, knowing they're not alone. Major changes in breathing or circulation, a telling sign of the final year. One of the clearest indicators that an elderly person may be entering their final year is a significant change in breathing or circulation. These shifts often start subtly but grow unmistakable over time. You might notice their breathing slow or turn shallow, each inhale less steady than before. At times, they pause between breaths, or their rhythm becomes uneven, speeding up, then stalling. Some develop a pattern called Cheyne-Stokes respiration, alternating between deep, rapid breaths and long, quiet gaps. Hands and feet grow cold to the touch, their skin paling or taking on a bluish tint. These aren't random quirks. They're signs the body is slowing, conserving energy as it nears the end. Breathing changes reflect a weakening system. The lungs, once strong, lose efficiency as oxygen exchange falters. Even small efforts, sitting up, speaking, shifting in a chair, leave them winded. They might breathe through their mouth more, or pause mid-sentence to catch their breath. For some, fluid builds in the lungs, causing a persistent cough or gurgling sound, a tightness they can't shake. Families might think it's just a cold, but in someone nearing life's end, it's often the lungs signaling decline. Lying flat becomes hard. They may need pillows or a recliner to breathe easier. This isn't temporary, it's the body adapting to a final phase. Circulation tells a similar story. As the heart pumps less forcefully, blood flow weakens. It prioritizes vital organs, leaving extremities like fingers, toes, or even the nose chilled and pale. Skin might look mottled, especially at the edges, a sign the body's focus is narrowing. This isn't just feeling cold, it's a shift in how energy is used. You might see them tire faster, struggle to walk a few steps, or rest more often. These changes can creep in months ahead, quiet warnings that the heart and lungs are winding down together. For families, it's a stark shift. A loved one once warm and steady now feels fragile, distant. The signs don't always shout. Breathing might seem off, but not urgent. Cold hands could be brushed off as poor room temperature. Yet together, they build a pattern. Does their chest rise less fully? Are their fingertips icy even under blankets? These aren't fixes to chase, they're clues to heed. In the final year, the body doesn't waste effort. It pulls back, preserving what it can. For some, shortness of breath grows constant, a weight they carry with every move. Others simply slow, their pauses stretching longer, their energy fading into stillness. Families often feel helpless watching this. It's natural to urge deeper breaths or pile on blankets, hoping to reverse it. But these changes aren't easily undone. The heart and lungs aren't failing from neglect. They're following a natural course. Pushing them to fight can tire them more. Instead, comfort becomes key. A cool room, a humidifier, or small sips of water can ease breathing. Oxygen therapy might help, but the goal isn't cure, it's calm. Keeping them propped up, holding their hand, offering quiet company. These matter more than forcing what's slipping away. Spotting this early gives you time. Major changes in breathing or circulation aren't just discomfort, they're the body's last message. Are they pausing too long between breaths? Do their hands stay cold? These signal the final months or weeks may be near. Recognizing this shifts your focus, not to fix, but to soothe. It's a chance to create peace, a soft voice, a steady presence, rather than panic. You can't stop the slowing, but you can soften it, ensuring their days end with dignity, not distress. In the final year, breathing and circulation changes mark a turning point. They show life narrowing, energy retreating to its core. It's a call to be present, not to push, to listen, not to lecture. Families who see this can prepare, not with fear, but with care. It's about making their last moments gentle, surrounded by love, not struggle. A cool touch, a quiet room, a shared silence. These hold more power than any fight against time. This sign isn't the end. It's a guide to make the end kinder, ensuring they're not alone as they fade. So, there you have it. 5 critical signs that could signal an elderly loved one's final year. Significant weight loss, where their body quietly stops thriving. Extreme fatigue and weakness, draining their strength. Cognitive confusion or withdrawal, fading their mind's clarity. Frequent infections and slow healing, showing their defenses are down. And major changes in breathing or circulation, marking the body's last slow dance. These aren't just changes, they're calls to act, to care, to be present. Recognizing them early means you can trade regret for readiness, filling their final days with peace and love. If this hit home, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs it. And if you want more insights like these, hit subscribe and ring that bell. Your support keeps us going, helping more families face this journey with strength and heart. Thanks for watching. Let's make every moment matter.